This is the video that your hearing care provider does not want you to see. What if I told you that there was one thing that you could do to significantly improve how well you hear in quiet and in background noise with your hearing aids, but that 70 to 80% of hearing care providers do not do it? Well, there has been a debate inside of the audiologic community for decades on whether or not performing real ear measurement is something that should be done to optimize your hearing aid performance. Apparently, the vast majority of hearing care providers believes that performing real ear measurement is either not required or not important enough to do when programming hearing aids for optimal patient benefit. Now, if you have no clue what I'm talking about when I say real ear measurement, then you really need to go check out this video that I published about 5 years ago to give you a basic foundational understanding of this procedure. But in an attempt to get you up to speed quickly, real ear measurement is basically a verification technique that is used to ensure that your hearing aids are programmed correctly to your hearing loss prescription. You see, everyone with hearing loss requires a certain amount of amplification that is specific to them in order to optimize their ability to hear. And while you could technically have an identical hearing loss to someone else, the amount of amplification that you need at different frequency ranges will still be different because of the size and shape of your unique ear canals. This creates a situation where we need to verify inside of your ear canals if you're getting the right amount of amplification, otherwise we're just shooting in the dark. The way we do this is by placing probe microphone tubes inside of your ear canals along with your hearing aids and measure that sound approximately 5 millimeters away from your eardrums, and then continue to customize the programming of the hearing aids until your amplification levels match the validated prescriptive targets of your hearing loss. Now, I know that sounds like a mouthful and sounds very technical, and it kind of is, but it's something that's very basic to a hearing care professional. What most hearing care providers do is they take your hearing loss, enter it into their computer software, hit an auto program button, put those hearing aids in your ears and ask you how it sounds. And when you say, I guess it sounds okay, they're like, great, go out into the real world and hopefully you hear better. Now, I know that kind of sounds ridiculous to you, but the number one reason that hearing care professionals do this, in my opinion, is that they believe that those first fit settings that they just hit the auto program button for are just as good, if not better, than customized settings using real ear measurement. So which camp is correct? The 80% of hearing care providers who believe that first fit is appropriate, or the 20% of providers who believe that a customized and verified fit to your prescription is better? Well, in a 2018 study led by Dr. Mike Valenti and others titled Differences in Word and Phoneme Recognition in Quiet, Sentence Recognition in Noise, and Subjective Outcomes Between Manufacturer First Fit and Hearing Aids Programmed to NAL-NL2 Using Real Ear Measures, that I will link in the description below, the researchers answered this very question. In this double-blind, randomized, counterbalanced study that had 24 first-time hearing aid users with a normal sloping down to moderately severe high-frequency hearing loss, they identified that 79% of these participants preferred the customized program settings that were verified with real ear measurement. That's right, nearly 8 out of every 10 individuals actually preferred having real ear measurement done on these hearing aids instead of just having them set to first fit settings. However, things got even more interesting when researchers identified that not only did people prefer to have the real ear measurement customized settings compared to first fit, but they actually performed better as well in quiet and in background noise, regardless whether or not they actually preferred the real ear measurement settings. Now, we already know that hearing aid manufacturers typically significantly under-amplify high-frequency sounds because they know that will sound more comfortable to the person who is initially wearing their hearing aids. But we also know that when you reduce the high-frequency sounds, it gets rid of your clarity and quiet, and it also takes away of your ability to separate speech from background noise. In one of my all-time favorite studies done back in 2012, Drs. Ron Levitt and Carol Flexer identified that modern digital hearing aids, when set to first fit settings, actually underperformed an old analog hearing aid that was fit using real ear measurement. Not only that, but after each of these modern digital hearing aids were reprogrammed using real ear measurement, every single one of them significantly improved their performance in background noise. This bar graph shows the manufacturer first fit in black and the prescriptive fit using real ear measurement in gray. The shorter the bars, the better the hearing aids performed in noise. As you can see, every single one of the hearing aids programmed with real ear measurement in gray are shorter than the black bars, indicating a significant improvement in performance. This newer study by Dr. Mike Valenti and his colleagues just reconfirms what we've already known for decades at this point, which is when it comes to performance, hearing aids that have been fit and programmed and verified to a validated prescriptive target with real ear measurement always outperform hearing aids that are set to first fit settings with just customizations based on your feedback. And if 80% of hearing aid users actually prefer their hearing aids to be fit and programmed using real ear measurement, then how is this still a debate? Honestly, it probably has something to do with lack of education, lack of training, lack of time, lack of equipment, lack of patients wanting to actually pay for it, and lack of insurance companies wanting to reimburse providers for performing real ear measurement. Nevertheless, if you want to hear your absolute best with your hearing aids, science has been telling us for decades at this point that you need to have your hearing aids programmed using real ear measurement. Of course, performing real ear measurement and performing it well are two completely different things, which is why you want to make sure that you're going to a hearing care professional who knows what they're doing. If you'd like an easy way to find a hearing care professional who knows what they're doing with real ear measurement, make sure that you check out my website, hearingup.com, to find a Hearing Up network member near you. Hearing Up providers have been vetted and are committed to following comprehensive best practices, including real ear measurement, to ensure you get the most out of your hearing aids. If you want to treat your hearing loss the right way, find a Hearing Up provider and experience the difference that exceptional hearing care makes. When it's all said and done, if you do not care about the way that you hear with your hearing aids, or you're just more interested in saving money, by all means go to a hearing care provider who does a first fit programming and sends you on your way. But if you actually want to hear your absolute best and love your hearing aids, then you need to make sure that you go to a hearing care professional who follows best practices, including real ear measurement. I promise you'll be glad you did.